Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Vaughn and Car Conversations. Depending upon whether or not you can see my face here on YouTube or you're joining me just on the airwaves, you're just listening to the podcast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm going to talk very candidly for a moment. And I hope this helps somebody. I'm being very sincere in this moment. I hope this helps somebody, but I'm going to talk to the angry white men in America. I'm going to talk to you because I feel like no one has helped you to understand your anger and your frustration, and also what you are doing to your sons, your daughters too, but what you're specifically creating in your sons. We have seen mass shooting after mass shooting, and they all fit the same MO. Angry, indoctrinated, radicalized, typically young or younger, on the younger side, white males. Same MO, except for these last two, was that North Carolina, and then also on the Mormon church in Utah, or was that Arizona? The last two, yeah, they were 30s to 40s, those two men, but it still angry, frustrated, white, radicalized white males. And I'm just going to take a shot at this. I'm just going to take a shot at it. And you can put in the comments whether I hit a nail on the head or I'm totally missing it. I'm not a white male. You let me know. I do have I have a couple of degrees in this stuff, but again, I'm not a white male, haven't lived your life. So drop it in the comments if you feel comfortable. But number one, the way that most men across the board, no matter what your background is, no matter what your religion is, no matter what your skin tone is, most men are socialized to behave in a very stoic manner, in a very, man up in all situations, don't have any feelings, don't express any feelings, or that means that you're weak, or, it means that, people will question your sexuality, etc. That is how traditionally men have been socialized in this country. It is wrong. It is wrong because at the end of the day, you are human. The example I always give to my students is if I had a daughter and a son, same age, let's say they're twins, they're 5, they go out, both of them, on their bikes, right? Typically in a household, if they both fall down on their bikes, they both skin their knees, the little girl comes running in crying. She's going to typically get the coddling, or you're okay, let me kiss it, let's clean it up, boo-boo, all that. She's going to get all the coddling. She's going to get all the emotional nurturing that she should receive. Our boys, on the other hand, they are going to get the, oh, you're okay, brush yourself off, get back out there on your bike, you're fine. No attention to the pain, physical pain, no attention to the emotions, no reaction to any of that whatsoever. And so when this happens over and over and over again, that starts to shape your personality. And then let's also bring in this other caveat, because if I'm talking about angry white men, I've got to talk about this from this right-wing Christian nationalist perspective. So you have, if you bring in the whole Christianity Bible part of it, that you have been, your gender instructions or your gender typing that you have taken from the cues that you've taken from the society, and also your parents and the people that are close around you, is that I'm supposed to be the stoic person, never show any emotions, never show any signs of weakness, never behave as if I'm actually human, right? And then you add the Christianity part of it. So no matter what I'm feeling, no matter who I care for, no matter whom I'm attracted to, none of that. I have to stick to what is taught, not only what's written in this book, in the Bible, but also what I'm hearing from my elders that are in the church and my family, etc. And a lot of things in Christianity are taught to exude shame in people across the board, just human beings across shame, because the Bible, whether you believe me or not, you can do your own research. The original use for the Bible, all those stories put together, it was used as governing, because it was used to shame people, to avoid the shame of the community and the family. Then we would have, the hope was that people would avoid certain behaviors, but also it was used as a governing tool legally, eye for an eye, right? That's how we govern. Somebody comes steal something from you, you steal something from them. If they hit you, you hit, they lie, you cut their tongue out. All those sorts of things are in the Bible. Very harsh, cruel things are in the Bible. But also, homosexuality is in the Bible. Daughters seducing men, fathers, etc. There's a lot of other stuff that's in the Bible as well. But it was used as a tool to shame people into the behavior that was desired. And also, oh my God, I will go to hell if I engage in these behaviors. So people were terrified to do anything. So when you have all that in your head, when you have a young man who has already been taught by the family, I got to behave this way, I can't show emotion, I can't do this, and then they go to church 4 or 5 times a week, and that's jammed down their throats, then you have this very linear way of behaving. So when these emotions and feelings come up, whether it is an emotional response to something and you want to cry, or it is a feeling that you might be attracted to a man and you're a man, you push that stuff so far down and try so hard to hide it from your community, your family, your church family, etc., that it causes so much anger and frustration, or it can cause so much anger and frustration in some people that you lash out in different ways. And for some people, that is aggression. For some people, it's drug use. Some people, it's depression. For some people, it's alcoholism. For some people, it's withdrawing from society altogether. And then there's another group that acts out with aggression. And I'm learning so much about all these people, especially in Congress, all these white, supposedly cisgender heterosexual males, Christian, that actually are not. A lot of them, because y'all keep breaking Grinder every time you come to town, you're telling on yourselves. You're telling on yourselves. I'm quite sure if somebody went through your history on your computers and they went through your hard drives, they find a lot of suspect stuff, because you're trying to keep all that shit hidden and buried. And sometimes for some people, the only way it comes out is in aggression. And so if you don't, let me add the other layer to it before I move on. So you got the education or whatever you're learning from the family, from the parents, from the far right-wing family that you're growing up in. Then you go to the church and more stuff is jammed down your throat. And at the same time, somebody has put a gun in your hand from age 3, 4, 5. And you happen to be the person that lashes out in aggression. You don't drink, you don't use drugs, maybe you do, maybe you don't. You don't fall into a depression, you don't withdraw from society. Your way of handling all of that other shit, all that other shit is aggression. and you've been taught from 3, 4, 5 years old how to handle a gun, how to shoot at cans, pumpkins, deer, squirrel, whatever it is. And there's a whole other lot of layers that I could add to this as well. But my point in having this conversation is, my hope in having this conversation is, if you are the person that I am, that can all this that I'm telling you is resonating with you, please recognize, especially if you are a father, because you always want to talk about all the black dads that didn't stay in the household, the black dads that aren't raising their kids. But we need to have the conversation about all the angry white males who are in the household, who are abusing the kids, whether you're talking physically or sexually, because of all their bullshit that they are trying to repress and bury down, deep down. So it only comes out in aggression. And your first targets are your family. And when you target your family and your kids, and you're also grooming them and growing them up on guns and weapons, you are creating domestic terrorists. You might be one yourself, but you're definitely creating a new generation of domestic terrorists. So y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all don't want to talk about it or acknowledge all the white on white crime that's happening and why it's happening. And maybe you don't understand. I thought to myself, maybe they don't understand how they got here. Maybe they don't understand why they are so angry. But I'm telling you right now, the dude in Arizona or Utah, I can't remember which state it was, who recently went in, drove his truck into the side of a church and started shooting up the church, and also set the church on fire with some explosives. He, MAGA person, flags sticking out the back of the truck. He said specifically he has a problem with the Mormon church. Now, why? Why is somebody, well, he's deceased, but someone explain why. What happened to him in that Mormon church? Why did he have a problem with the Mormon church? What happened to him? How was it? Was he groomed by somebody in that church? Was he sexually abused by somebody in that church? Was it the teachings of that church that he had tried so hard to bury deep inside of him? I hope this message is touching someone or resonating with someone, and maybe it'll help you and help you to stop possibly what you might be doing to your children right now. But the way that you are being raised by your community, by your parents, the people around you, and all that right-wing hate bullshit, you're being raised on hate. And then they send you to church. They send you to church. They raise you on hate. And then they send you to church and tell you, oh, we are the chosen ones. Nobody else. We are the special and the chosen ones. And then also there are all these other rules that you're supposed to follow. And if you have any feelings and emotions that are connected to this, and that, that's bad, that's evil, you're going to hell. So bury and push all that shit down. I'm not shocked that you're exploding. I'm not shocked, because again, it comes out in different ways. So I'm begging you, if I'm speaking to you, if this resonates with you, please see a therapist, get some help, speak out to someone and say, hey, I'm in a bad place because I got mixed messages in my head. I'm angry about a bunch of shit. Y'all don't know what happened to me when I was a kid. And then on top of that, I'm very well trained on an AR. And also, please stop doing this and teaching it to your kids. If you don't do anything else, if you can just acknowledge, oh, that's what happened to me. Stop doing it to your kids. Stop raising your kids in that way. And for the love of God, don't abuse them. like you were abused. And if you get to that point, I'd rather you leave the house. I'd rather you not be in the house. Don't stay in the house and try to be, the great dad that I've been told white men don't leave the home, white men don't leave their families, but you can cheat and you could go sleep with men over here. You can sleep with 10 women over there. You can have all kind of babies all around. You can do all these awful things. But as long as you stay in the household, that makes everything okay. That's some bullshit. You are ruining, you are damaging everyone in that household. I say this over and over to all people, to anyone. Our secrets, our secrets keep us sick, our families dysfunctional, and our communities in chaos. And that's exactly what's happening on the right now. We need y'all to acknowledge that, get some help for it, so you can come back and help us all defeat these oligarchs and these wealthy people that want nothing to do with you and don't give a damn about you, so we can all collectively come together and defeat these other folks. But y'all got to get some help first. Y'all got to get some help first. So remember this: your secrets keep you sick, your family's dysfunctional, and your communities in chaos. And right now, white people, white, angry men, your community is in chaos. Fix it.